everyone, Liz Holter House, OBX for sale, powered by Keller Williams, back again today to continue our series for the listing agent series. How to hire a rock star listing agent like me. That's what we're here for. So this week is week 2 in the series, and we're going to be talking about usually one of the first questions I get from a potential seller who is interested in listing their home for sale is, how do you market my home? What are you going to do to sell my home? And we create a marketing plan for each and every home, but there are certain things that we do on almost every home, and we're going to talk about that today. I have a pre-marketing guide, and we'll put a link in the video to this guide. It's on our website, and this is something that I update often based on what's going on in the market, that kind of thing. And we send this out or deliver it or hand it to a potential seller in one of our first conversations, and hopefully before the listing presentation, before I've been invited into a home to give a seller a pricing strategy. And it just it gives them a chance to see my plan, get to know me a little bit better, read about me a little bit better, so they can be prepared to interview me and to ask questions when I do come for that meeting, whether that meeting is in person in their home or virtually on Zoom or some other way. So one of the first questions I get, other than what do you charge, is how are you going to sell my home? How are you going to market my home? And it is important to have a strong marketing plan. And I have the basic foundation of a marketing plan. And like I said, there are some things that we do for every home. And then there are some homes that are different. They're just different. If somebody came to me and they had a multifamily home in KDH, for instance, that I would still market it my same basic way, but I also then might market that home to all of our local businesses in the community that are always looking for employee housing, perhaps something like that. Or it might go on to a Facebook group where people are specifically looking for multifamily use, 3-4 units in one home. So there are some very specialized ones, and of course your $4 million, $5 million, $10, $12 million homes, there is going to have to be a luxury rollout of a marketing plan that meets that price tag, if that makes sense. And that is going to be a little bit different than just your average beach house, for instance. But there are certain things that we do for every single listing. So let's get into that. We're going to have a strong marketing plan, but we're always going to include professional photography. I do not deviate from this at all. I do not use an iPhone. I do not have blurry pictures. I have a professional photographer that comes in and takes pictures of your home, whether it's 862 square feet or 8,000 square feet. And I just don't compromise on that. And I believe that the agent that is willing to come into your home with an iPhone and doesn't even know how to use an iPhone, because a lot of iPhones can take great photos, but still you deserve better than that. And I've seen some really bad photography, and you're never going to see that out of me. So you're going to get professional photography. You're also going to get professional drone pictures, drone video that can be used in marketing pieces. You can show so much and paint such a beautiful story with drone pictures or drone video. So if the home is 2 or 3 off the ocean, you can slowly walk from the home to the beach access and then out onto the beach and back. And you can show all of this online. So when you've got a buyer whose number one box they want to tick is a quick walk to the ocean, and you can show and demonstrate that walk with a drone video, that is hands down a winner. And that's going to get that buyer excited to get in their car, drive to the Outer Banks, and call an agent to look at your house. And that's what we want. Our ultimate goal is to get as many buying eyes on your house as possible, because that's where the offers come from. The more people looking, the more potential offers that you get. So, professional photography, drone photography, and video. Where drone is also very strong is in vacant lots, because it tells the story of something that is otherwise very boring. To take a picture of a lot from my height at 5'4", looking at a tree, doesn't show a potential buyer anything. It doesn't stand out online. It doesn't captivate anyone's attention. But take that same lot from 20 feet in the air in the Carolina Club, which is a golfing community, or the Currituck Club, which is a golfing community with ocean and sound views. And all of a sudden, you're not looking at just a piece of dirt. You're looking at a home site that could have ocean views, sound views, golf course views, all the things. That's telling a story. And that's going to slow people down. The scroll is going to stop and the clicking is going to start. And they're going to click on your ad or your picture or your listing. And then they're going to start getting intrigued and they're going to start getting excited. And they're going to get in their car and they're going to drive here to look at your lot. So it's all of those things. The Outer Banks is most of our buyers, not all, but most of our buyers are sitting in their living rooms or their offices or their dining rooms somewhere hours away in some big major city or wherever they live, Pennsylvania, New York, Maryland, DC, Richmond, any of those areas. And so we need to captivate that attention. A lot of them know the area well, but it's so much better when they can see it from the air and say, oh, look, that's our favorite place to eat, or oh, look, that's our favorite beach access. When they can see all of that and relate it to the picture, it gets them excited about your listing. So that is so important. Staging the listing before photography is also very important. Most of our homes are sold furnished, so staging can be like what I would call light staging. It's a refresh. It could be just purchasing new, colorful, beachy inspired, sophisticated beachy inspired comforters and pillows and throw pillows and things like that. We don't want the home to look too sterile. We want pops of color. We want something to add a little bit of depth. It might be something unique, a centerpiece, a driftwood piece, or something for the kitchen counter or for a coffee table, or the middle of, a ginormous dining room table in one of these big beach houses that sits 24 people. You've got this extremely long table. What are you going to put in the middle of it? It really screams for something big and beautiful, colorful, but interesting. Something that's going to kind of captivate someone's attention. So when we talk about staging, that's what we're looking for. If the home is completely unfurnished, we can do virtual staging. We can bring in minimal pieces of furniture to demonstrate that king size or queen size beds will fit in certain rooms, things like that. And we do that, but I would say probably 80% of the homes are already furnished and they're being sold furnished. So we just need to stage it for pictures. And sometimes we don't have to bring anything new in. We can just use what's there, but we'll minimize what's there. We'll clean off the kitchen counters and then start by adding one or two pieces back, that type of thing. So that's what I mean by staging. I don't like bathrooms to have empty towel rods and towel racks and no just the plain white shower liners, things like that. I've got a massive supply of shower curtains and hand towels and things like that to hang in there. It makes it look a little bit more finished, but again, that color, the color that you enter into those photos absorbs some of the color and the bounce back, and it just makes the pictures look so much nicer. So that's what we're looking for when we're talking about staging. We will also do 3D tours when necessary or when it calls for it. It's hard to do a 3D tour on an 800, 900, 1,500 square foot home, but on a bigger home, 3, 4, 5,000 square feet, absolutely. And then when you get into 6, 7, 8, 10, 12,000 square feet and higher, it's almost a must. The buyer will just get very lost in the pictures, and we're limited to how many pictures we can put in MLS. And if you've got 20 bedrooms, that could take up almost all of my picture allotment. So then that's where a 3D tour is extremely necessary. Um, so anyway, part of my marketing guide too is giving you examples on what a poor listing looks like in MLS and what one of my listings looks like in MLS. How I took a listing that expired in 180 days, refreshed it, staged it, professional photography, professional drone, put it back on the market, and it went under contract in 5 days. That's what I'm looking to do in my job, in my practice, in my work for you. But I've also got plenty of examples to show you how we've done that over the years. Beyond that, we do coming soon. We're limited to the first 24 hours here. So the day before we go live in MLS, we can do a coming soon. So we try to get some instant excitement through coming soons and stuff like that, and flooding social media with not so much a coming soon, but just we have a coming soon coming on Friday. Pay attention. This is what we're working on, and just kind of trickling it along the way. I spend the first 3 hours of my day, every single day, Monday through Friday, lead genning. And what I'm doing is I'm looking for a buyer for my listings, and I'm looking for listings for my buyers. And so for the listing, I am creating the marketing plan. We are creating ads, paid ads that we put out on social media. I'm talking to my database, my sphere of influence. My database has got several thousand people in it. Your listing is being publicized and syndicated on hundreds of sites, thousands of sites that go out there, real estate related. And then you're also featured in my newsletters and other advertising type stuff that I do. We do broker open houses when it's possible, and that is to get other real estate agents into your house, not necessarily a potential buyer because they're not always here. But to get the other agents, especially the top agents in MLS that sell in your area, invite them in, give them lunch, give them a glass of wine, that type of thing, ask them for some feedback. And it helps us to get some initial feedback on price, condition, those kind of things on day 1, 2, or 3, and not day 30 or 45. So broker open houses are very effective. We do a lot of circle prospecting, and that means just calling your neighbors. And what we do is we let them know that you asked us to call and invite them to the open house, or you asked us to call and let them know that their house was up for sale. And do you know anybody that would want to be your neighbor? If it's comes from us, it's not perceived as well. But if the invite comes from the seller, it's just measurably different how many people will show up. So we do circle prospecting. We call the neighbors on all sides, or the whole community, or postcard the community, or email the community, that type of thing. Advertise in MLS, advertise on Zillow for our open houses. So we don't just decide today at 10 o'clock that we're doing an open house at 1 o'clock today. A lot of planning really has to go into an open house to make it a successful open house, because the last thing we want to do is boot you out of your house or go in and set all of this up and not a single person comes through your home. That is not the intention. So getting that right, the advertising, slowing down to take our time to advertise it and get some interest and some excitement over it is what we're looking for. The other way we do circle prospecting is just listed postcards. We'll send them out to anywhere from 150 to 250 of your closest neighbors, letting them know that the property has been just listed. And that way, a lot of times buyers come from someone within the area that says, oh, hey, Aunt Mabel wants to buy in this community, or Grandma said so-and-so wanted to buy if a house came up for sale, that type of thing. And they start talking about your house. In addition, we do targeted ads all over social media. And these are ads targeted to people we don't know. You won't see these ads on my timeline. I won't see these ads on my timeline. It is an ad. When you've been sitting around and you've been talking about what you're going to get the kids for Christmas and your phone's listening to you, and all of a sudden the Paw Patrol toy that you were talking about pops up on your Facebook feed. These are these types of ads. So when someone's been looking for real estate on the Outer Banks or been using keywords in their searches for stuff on the Outer Banks, these are ads that are going to show up in their feed. So, for instance, if a lot of our buyers are coming from the Richmond area, which they do, we would do a targeted ad in the Richmond area, in the DC area, in Fairfax County, Loudoun County, New York, Pennsylvania, Maryland, New Jersey. These are all the feeder cities that feed into the Outer Banks. Anywhere where it's a comfortable day drive from here is where our buyers come from. And that is now also opened up to more Western North Carolina, like Raleigh, Charlotte area. We're seeing more people come from that area. So we may target those areas as well. The other thing we're going to do is we're going to target top agents in the area that sell in your area. Not everyone sells in Collington Harbor, for instance. Not everyone sells in the four-wheel drive area. Certainly not every agent sells on Hatteras Island. So we're going to, excuse me, target your new listing to the top agents that sell in that area. And then, of course, we're going to target our database as well. So that is really the basic of what we do for every single listing, whether it's a $70,000 lot or a $7 million house. That is the foundation of where we start. And then we expand out from there. If it's land, if it's 10 acres, if it's a farm, if it's a high-end luxury property, if it's a beach house and we're going into the summer months and we know we're not going to be able to get a lot of people into it, we would hands down do the 3D tour, because it just means everything to the buyer trying to make a decision to buy that house or put an offer on that house, possibly sight unseen, or through a virtual showing with their agent. So if we have a 3D Matterport tour of the home, it gets them one step closer to picking up the phone, calling their agent and saying, hey, we're really interested in this house. We know we need to come down and look at it on a Saturday. Are you available, or are you available to do a virtual showing? Again, everything we do from a marketing strategy, we're trying to get eyes on your home. We're trying to get as much buyer activity on your home as possible. So that's kind of the basic foundation, and then we broaden out from there. It could include radio spots, TV spots. The sky's the limit, but that is, in a nutshell, the basic foundation for our marketing. And then we go from there. We do a lot of video tours. We do a lot of reels, a lot of story posting, things like that, all across social media: YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, all of them, Twitter, TikTok, LinkedIn, because you just never know where your next buyer is going to come from. You never know who's going to see it that's going to know somebody that wants to buy that house. So even though TikTok is not necessarily my demographic, it's new. I'm new on there, I guess, in the last 2 years. But it's still a place that we put information out on, because there are people on TikTok that are buying real estate. So we're in all the places, and we have to be, to get all of those eyes on your property. So I hope that helps a little bit. My pre-marketing guide, we'll put a link into this video for the pre-marketing guide. You can download that from our website. It's something I provide before I come on a listing appointment, so you get to know me a little bit and you're prepared and ready to ask me questions. And then, of course, once I've been in your home and once we've looked at it and we've looked at the very specific market parameters of what we're against and getting it sold, that marketing plan will be customized for you and for your home, specialized. So anyway, this is Liz Holterhouse from OBX for Sale, powered by Keller Williams, wrapping up episode 2 of our listing agent series. How do I choose a rock star listing agent like me to represent you in the sale of your home? Reach out to us, call, text, chat, follow us. I would love to talk to you. And, it just starts with a simple conversation. And if it's just for informational purposes, that's okay. I love to talk to everybody and anybody. So I'm here for you. Thank you for listening.